Hi everyone. So welcome to this interview series with toppers of NABARD Grade A 2021 exam. And today I have a special guest, Mr. Divyanshu Dwivedi, who has recently cleared NABARD Grade A 2021 exam. So Divyanshu, I welcome you to our channel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for welcoming me to your channel.
And to let you know, Divyanshu is from non-agri background, non-UPSC background. तो एक जो common misconception रहता है ना कि UPSC वाले agri वालों के लिए है NABARD grade A, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. The example is in front of you, Mr. Divyanshu, who has non-agri, non-UPSC background, but then also he cleared NABARD in his second attempt. So Divyanshu, how are you feeling?
So it's a very nice feeling after clearing this exam, because actually the number of seats were very less in the examination. So sir, it gives me a feeling of pride that I have cleared this exam. And sir, actually I was chasing this exam from the past 3 years. So now I have a feeling of satisfaction also कि whatever goal that I had set before me, I've been able to achieve it.
Yes, I think it's a feeling of relief and satisfaction when you achieve your goal and set yourself to the next goal. And Divyanshu is basically from the city of Lucknow, famous for its tunde kebabs and its embroidery. Very interesting city. I visited once there. I wish I could visit again. Let's see. But Divyanshu, apart from the city of Lucknow, can you tell us a little bit about your background? What's your qualification and what's your work experience?
So I have done my BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Madan Mohan Malviya Engineering College. So after getting done with my graduation in 2017, I joined as Assistant System Engineer in TCS in 2018. So from there, before joining TCS, I used to prepare for bank jobs, but I cleared mains examination, but was not able to make it to the final interview stage. After that, after joining TCS, I thought that I will be able to carry on with my preparation, because I had already prepared a lot in the past. Then, sir, during my job at TCS, I cleared many bank and insurance examinations. I got Canara Bank PO and Regional Rural Bank PO and Administrative Officer at New India Assurance Company Limited. Finally, sir, I joined as an Administrative Officer in New India Assurance Company Limited in 2019, and since then I started preparing for RBI and NABARD. And sir, I was lucky enough to clear this examination of NABARD Grade A 2021 in this NABARD Grade A 2021, and I'll be joining as a Grade A officer soon.
Wow, so it's a long journey. You can see that how he has achieved success step by step, from engineer to an software developer in TCS, then to a government job AO in New India Insurance, and then now an officer in regulatory body. So that's why we say that you should always plan your career well. You need to work hard. That's what Divyanshu has done, but now he's settled. And he's settled for life. So Divyanshu, how did NABARD happen? Basically, how did you come to know about all these regulatory bodies? Because many people, after going to the banking sector or the insurance sector, they feel that that's it. Now they belong to this place and there is nothing much more ahead. How did you become aware of all this?
So when I graduated in 2017, so sir, I thought of preparing for bank PO jobs and insurance exams, and I was also not aware about RBI and NABARD. But sir, once I started preparing, then I got to know about other exams which are related to the similar field. So sir, I got to know about RBI and NABARD. Then I saw the syllabus of NABARD, so that was very different from what I was preparing for bank jobs. But sir, as I have joined TCS, so sir, I set a goal in my mind that firstly I'll get a platform so that I can start working in that financial sector. So sir, I thought that firstly I'll be clearing either a bank, I'll be clearing my bank or insurance exams, and so before once I clear any of these exams, then I'll start preparing for NABARD. So the moment I got as AO in New India Assurance Company Limited, I had a very clear indication in my mind that the next target that I need to set before me is to prepare for NABARD and RBI. And sir, I was lucky enough that this time I was able to clear this exam.
Wow, such a clarity, I think, in his career planning. That's what most of the people lack.
Divyanshu, and so one more thing, sir, and one more thing that I would like to add, that sir, I have a habit of making small goals. So sir, once I graduated, I had a goal. The first thing that came to mind is to clear a bank or insurance exam. So sir, I cleared that, and after that, the moment I cleared it, I had a clear indication that I'll be going for regulatory bodies exam. And sir, so that's how NABARD happened to me.
Wow, that's great. So Divyanshu, if I would ask you any three things जिन्होंने आपकी help की to clear NABARD grade A, मतलब आपकी consistency थी, आपके जैसे आप short goals करते हो वो भी शायद एक factor है, तो कोई तीन चीजें जो आपको लगता है कि बस ये तीन चीजें ही मेरी सबसे powerful चीजें हैं जिनके कारण आज मैं NABARD grade A officer बना?
So first thing is that I had a very clear goal in my mind that ki I need to clear this exam whatsoever happens to me. So even I was working, so that did not make any difference to me. After my job hours, I used to try to take out time so that I do not miss out on my targets. So I used to
So,
set
clarity.
key targets for me.
I would say clarity in goals and perseverance is one. Yeah.
And so the other thing that was there ki when I was in my job, many people used to tell me ki it will be difficult to get along with the job, but sir, I never used to listen to them. I just kept focusing on what I have decided ki I have decided to prepare. So no matter what happens, I will be preparing for the exams. And sir, one thing which I did in my preparation is that I never shared my future plans with anyone, because if you share your future plans with anyone, so many people will try to demotivate you also ki it is not possible. So sir, I thought to keep myself away from negative energy so that I may not get distracted from my preparation.
So just to summarize what Devanshu is saying, what I can get is clarity in goals, perseverance, and keep away from all the negativity which people will try to spread who are around you. ये बहुत अच्छा है. मैंने देखा है हमारे पास भी there are a lot of calls that keep on coming. मेरे friends बोल रहे हैं आपसे नहीं होगा, मेरे घर वाले भी बोल रहे हैं कि आपसे नहीं होगा. So we can't stop people from commenting on your career path or kind of demotivating you, but I think it's you and only you who need to keep yourself away from all that negativity. Divyanshu, my next question is basically, this was your second attempt in NABARD.
Yes, sir. Second attempt.
In the first attempt, were there any learnings which helped you in the second attempt? कि ठीक है मैंने ये गलतियां की हैं, अब मैं second attempt में ये गलतियां नहीं करूंगा.
So the biggest mistake that I committed in my first attempt was that I didn't take ARD static seriously. So I thought that very less questions are there from ARD static. So I'll focus more on current affairs and schemes, and then I think I'll be able to answer at least 80% of the questions, and rest 20, sir, I have prepared ARD static, but that was not very well prepared. And last time when the NABARD mains paper was there, lot of questions were there from ARD static. So sir, even after writing the mains examination, I got an idea that I won't be able to get selected. But this time, sir, I made sure that I do not lose out on ARD static. So sir, I prepared my ARD static portion very well. And so for preparing my ARD static portion, I referred to the summary sheets of EduTap only. I referred to your summary sheets, and sir, one video was there of EduTap only where they had given a list of topics which one should focus on first after analyzing the previous year papers. So like soils, animal husbandry, horticulture, then sir then water aggregation and water resources, cropping systems. So most of the questions were coming from these topics. So sir, I thought I'll be focusing on these topics first. So sir, before prelims I was prepared with these 5-6 topics, and 2-3 topics more I prepared before writing mains. So I think this time, sir, the difference that I could see in my preparation was that I prepared ARD static very well, which I didn't do last time.
Devanshu, one more question which people normally ask is that is it possible for a non-UPSC and non-agri student to clear this exam? Now, you are a living example of that. Now, what is your advice to them, and what is their overall learning from this process? That how can a student from non-agri, non-UPSC background clear this exam?
Sir, that I would tell, sir. Actually, I have seen previous year toppers videos. So most of them used to say that my UPSC background helped me. Sir, if we take to the syllabus of UPSC, then sir, whatever topics that are being asked in NABARD, prepare those topics like an UPSC aspirants. That's what you can do.
Exactly.
If UPSC people read, hello.
I said exactly. You're right. That you prepare those topics like a UPSC aspirant. You can carry on, Devanshu.
Sir, so you can prepare those topics like in UP. Now, sir, in UPSC, they are asking about history, geography. That is of no use to you. So, sir, if for current affairs, sir, I was referring to Affairs Cloud for current affairs, but I made sure that I'll read the current affairs from Vision IS also, so that I get an idea how I can get an idea about how those people who are preparing for UPSC, they also might be referring to the same source. So I refer to the same source. So descriptive also, sir. Descriptive, sir. What I used to do, I used to take up topics, prepare my fodder material on that, and the next day, sir, I used to write that topic on Google and search for the previous year UPSC questions, and I used to practice them. So, sir, now I was able to balance my preparation along with the preparation of a UPSC aspirants. For schemes, sir, I was referring to Vision IS and Wikaspedia, and I don't think that, sir, anyone else can look out for any other source for preparing schemes apart from Vision IS and Wikaspedia. And sir, EduTap ARD schemes material also I referred to, because there were certain static things which are not there in Vision IS material, but they are there in your EduTap ARD schemes material. So sir, I took a printout of that. I think it was about 60-80 pages material was there, PDF was there. So I took a printout of that and I supplemented it with Vision IS, because no source can write the entire thing at one go. So sir, whatever missing was there in your material, I wrote it down from Vision IS, and I referred Wikaspedia also for that, because sir, I have been preparing from the past say 2 years. I started from 2020 for NABARD. So I had been preparing. So sir, I had given around 6-7 revisions for schemes. So sir, I had lot of time ki I can refer it from various sources as well.
Great, good to hear that. और आपने जॉब के साथ टाइम कैसे मैनेज किया दिव्यांशु? दैट्स अगेन अ वेरी बिग प्रॉब्लम फॉर मोस्ट ऑफ द वर्किंग एस्पिरेंट्स एंड दे गिव अप. सर टाइम नहीं है, सुबह जल्दी जाते हैं, शाम को लेट आते हैं, थक जाते हैं. हाउ डिड यू यूज टू मैनेज योर टाइम?
Sir, I used to set up daily goals for me. So daily targets I had in my mind, these are the things that I need to complete on a particular day. And so meanwhile, and similarly, I used to frame my weekly targets. So sir, after coming from office, I used to make sure that I get done with my daily targets. So even if I was able to complete 85 to 90% of the target also, then I used to stay satisfied, because after that, sir, I used to have a weekend. Saturday and Sunday was there with me, so I used to put extra efforts in case any of the targets which are yet to be achieved. So sir, that's how I manage my time. And sir, anyways, if you are a working aspirant, then sir, you will have to make some sacrifices. You will have to compromise, so that you'll have to make sure that sir, I used to make sure that firstly, though, I get done with my
carry on
office work I get done with my office work in a timely manner, so that I don't have to sit late at office. Then sir, after coming back from office, I had a fixed schedule in my mind. This is the time when I'll start preparing for that particular topic. And so sir, I am a person, sir, who used to study late till night. So sir, I used to study at around 11:30 to 2 p.m. and then sir, after that 2 a.m. sir, and after that, sir, I used to go to sleep, then again office. Then this circle kept on going, sir, and I had to say no to friends also at times. I won't be able to be a part of those outings or social gatherings with them. So even my relatives also. So these are certain sacrifices that you'll have to make if you are a working aspirant.
Well said, well said. I think there are a lot of sacrifices, a lot of pain, a lot of sweat behind every selection. That is what all the aspirants need to understand. सोकर उठकर जाएंगे तो सिलेक्शन नहीं होगा, उसके लिए खून नहीं तो पसीना तो बहाना पड़ेगा, तो उसके लिए तैयार रहिए. It's not an easy thing. It's one of the most prestigious job of our country. तो वो दिव्यांशु को इसीलिए मिली है क्योंकि इन्होंने मेहनत की है. तो आप सब लोग भी, if you are aspiring for this job, start preparing right now. Start preparing right now. Do not waste any single day. दिव्यांशु, now coming to the different phases of exam. Phase 1 है, phase 2 है. Phase 1 में pattern change हुआ इस बार. Quant reasoning, English decision making, computer सारे, it all became non-merit sections, and GA, ARD and ESI became merit sections. So we will talk more about merit sections now regarding the strategy, because those are same what is there in phase 1 and what is there in phase 2. But can you quickly tell what should be the strategy to handle non-merit sections now? How much time one should spend, and any particular subject in non-merit sections which is risky and one should prepare?
Sir, if we see, sir, the questions that are asked in the non-merit sections, they are not that much difficult. So sir, even if you if you have a, sir, likewise, sir, I had already prepared for bank exams and insurance exams. So, sir, I was very comfortable with my quant, LR, and English. So, sir, I didn't do any special preparation for it. Just before the exam, sir, I used to attempt mocks. I attempted around 15 to 20 mocks and analyze them very well so that I don't face any issues while writing the actual examination. But, sir, anyone who wants to prepare for quant and analysis, for quant, sir, one can solve a level of difficulty one of Arun Sharma, and then, sir, they can start attempting mocks. And so for LR, so logical reasoning, so there are certain topics like syllogism, inequalities, coding, decoding that are very easy. So one can refer to any channel on YouTube. Your channel also, it has relevant material. So you can refer to that. And then after then, so for puzzles and all, it's good to straight away attempt mocks. Otherwise, sir, there are apps, sir, in which you will get a 15 minutes quizzes are there. Sir, in 15 minutes, they'll ask you to solve 15 questions. So, sir, actually, sir, that helps to improve your speed also, and you will be able to focus very well while if you are giving your exams in a time-bound manner. So that I used to do for my bank and insurance exam preparations. And sir, for English also, sir, one should focus more on improving its vocabulary, because if your vocab is good, I think you will be able to attempt the English section very well, because everything revolves around vocab only. Fill in the blanks are there. Then, sir, comprehension is there. So, sir, you will be only able to comprehend things if your vocab is good. Otherwise, you might find it difficult for you to do.
Decision making के लिए क्या suggest करेंगे आप?
Decision making, so actually decision making is a part of RBI syllabus as well. So, sir, I had your course available with me. So whatever I think principles of management, decision making is a part of it. So whatever there was in your this summary sheets, I referred to that only. I didn't refer to any other source because that was very much sufficient, and I was able to attempt the decision making section well.
Okay. So overall, if one is spending around 100 hours on preparation, how much time one should spend on non-merit sections?
So I would say that one should spend only 25 hours, 20 to 30 hours. Actually, that depends on your preparation. You attempt one mock, you analyze which section is strong for you. Then, sir, whichever section is not strong for you, you should focus more on that section, but you should give only 20 to 30% of the time on preparing for non-merit sections, because anyways, you are just required to qualify them. And sir, if you see the qualifying marks that are there for each and every section, that are not that much. So anyways, whatever you score above the qualifying marks, cutoff marks, it won't do any good to you. It's better to focus more on ESI, ARD and general awareness part, which plays a important role in the examination.
So that's a very important tip, guys. Don't get swayed away by the number of subjects. 5 subjects which are in non-merit section, just prepare for them at that level that you're able to clear cutoffs. Do not over prepare, rather use your time in the preparation of ARD and ESI. Now coming to ARD and ESI, Devyanshu. So for ARD static, you said you referred EduTap notes, summary sheets and all those. Overall, I want to know that what level of current affairs is asked in ARD and ESI?
So in ARD, sir, if we see, say in ARD and ASI, one thing which is asked, I think heavily, it was asked this year's paper, it was asked heavily in prelims and mains. So one thing is the schemes. So one should, if one is getting started with the preparation of ESI and ARD, they should start with the schemes, that too which focus on the rural sector, like Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Rural Development, Animal Husbandry, Tribal Affairs, Food Processing Industry, New and Renewable Energy. So these are the certain ministries that should be prepared first. And so for preparing my scheme section, sir, I did it when I gave it a first reading, I did it from Vision IAS. Then the second time I read Vision IAS and supplemented it with Vision Vikaspedia. And so third time I had your notes. And so whatever I was reading your notes and whatever I found that it was not written in that, I used to take it from Vision IAS and write it on that printed material which I had taken. So sir, I made my notes at the third time. And sir, I would suggest everyone not to start making notes at the very first reading, because sir, scheme is a very dynamic topic. You keep on getting new things about them. So you should leave some space in whatever paper you are writing, so that you can add anything new if it gets done to that scheme, or you can use digital notes also, like OneNote and all, for preparing your notes for schemes, because that is a very dynamic topic and things keep on changing each and every year. Some of the changes you'll get to see in the scheme, or if the scheme has completed 5 or 6 years, then sir, the stats about the scheme would come, so which are directly asked in the examination. So one should try to make digital notes for schemes.
So I think everyone is going digital, and so why not us? So digital is the call of the day. But important point which Devanshu is making is make notes, not in the first reading, rather in the third reading, or if you're making notes in the first reading, keep some space so that you can add all the updates or the amendments then and there itself. Now, Devanshu, you said schemes is one of the important part of current affairs. What else? Reports and analysis, how much are they important for ESI and ART section?
Sir, actually, one thing which is asked, I think, every year are the RBI notifications. Sir, in each and every NABARD mains paper, you will find a question related to RBI notification. So, sir, whatever RBI notifications are there, one should focus on them. Sir, whatever reports and committees are being, so whatever reports are coming, which are specifically related to the agriculture sector or the social sector, like climate change, water resources, all these things, they should be focused upon. Sir, actually, most of the things that are asked in NABARD, they are related to only national news. So whatever national news of importance is coming, sir, you should specifically focus on them. And again, sir, there are certain ministries that are related to the agriculture and in the rural sector. They should be very much focused upon. Like, sir, if a news used to come related to the Ministry of Rural Development, and sir, actually, I was referring Affairs Cloud for my current affairs preparation. So, sir, if I used to get any news related to agriculture ministry or rural development ministry, sir, I used to read that news from PIB also, because whatever material they prepare, that is derived from PIB only. So directly read that news from PIB. Like, sir, National Mission on Oil Seeds came during that time. So, sir, I read it from Affairs Cloud also, but I read whatever was there in the PIB also, so that I do not miss out on anything.
Yes, I think you mentioned correctly. PIB is something very, very important. So guys, if you're doing self-preparation, do not forget to read PIB, though we are including every aspect of PIB in our monthly magazines and schemes document also. And Devanshu, how did you see the changed pattern now? I mean, after the pattern changed, were you in panic? And for future aspirants, what will be your advice to them? How can they cope up with the changed pattern now? Because descriptive is something that we all are like, okay, nahi yaar, descriptive shayad nahi ho paega. So what is your take on that?
Sir, actually, last time though RBI also changed its pattern. So, sir, when they change their pattern, I had a very clear indication in my mind that ki NABARD might also go on with the change of pattern. But, sir, I thought that it's because it is an exam and they have the authority to decide in whatever way they will be conducting the exam. So, sir, we do not. So I thought that I should not focus on that factor. Instead, sir, I should focus on preparing for the descriptive paper. So, sir, I made a strategy in my mind ki, sir, I'll prepare topic wise. So, sir, whatever topics were mentioned in the syllabus, I used to prepare fodder material relevant to each and every topic. And, sir, whatever current affairs I was getting in news, and I used to think that ki our descriptive question might come out of these current affairs. Like, sir, MSP was there in news, then agreement on agriculture was there in news, then, sir, this development bank was there in news, NAFED was there in news. So, sir, I prepared fodder material for each and every topic. I prepared fodder material for each and every topic. And then, sir, next day I told you I used to attempt descriptive questions. Like, sir, I used to type that particular topic UPSC previous year question. If any question was there from those topics, then, sir, I used to practice. And if you are practicing 1 or 2 questions, then I don't think that then, sir, you'll have an entire idea about the topic. What are the things that have to be written? And, sir, when I was preparing my fodder material, so that I used to prepare in a specific manner. Like, what are the things that I'll be writing in the introduction? Then what are the challenges related to that particular sector? How we can mitigate those challenges? And, sir, what are the targets that have been set up by the government, which are yet to be achieved? That you can write in conclusion now. If you write those targets in conclusion, then it will have a very good. Then your answer will start looking to be very good. And if you are able to mention some stats in the introduction also. Like, sir, I made that any topic, if it comes related to agriculture, then I can write about the contribution of agriculture in the GDP and GVA of the country. So, sir, I used to start my answers like that. And sir, whenever ending answers was there, like sir, doubling farmers' income by 2022 or reaching the net zero carbon by 2070. So, sir, I prepared these targets, list of these targets, which can be included in my introduction and conclusion. So, sir, that helped me in answering, in writing the answers. And sir,
Yeah, continue.
and sir, every day, sir, I used to practice 2 answers. So, sir, before the actual examination, I practice around 40 to 45 questions
Wow.
related to descriptive.
So as they say, practice makes a man perfect. So I think Devanshu just went by that. 45 questions seems बहुत कम है, मतलब कोई भी कर लेगा. But जब आप लिखने लगते हैं ना, तो 5 के बाद ही धुएं निकल जाते हैं. So I think reaching that level of writing 45 answers or attempting questions, 45 questions before the exam is a feat in itself. उसके बाद आपको idea लग जाता है कि what is required for you to improve your answers or how can you write better answers. So I think that's a job well done. और दिव्यांशु ने जो framework बताया है हर chapter का order है ना, और कुछ data points. So the exact framework, that is what we are following in our descriptive course itself. So I'm very happy that now that is vindicating what we are doing. के same ही approach a candidate ने follow किया and is able to get selected. So that's really good to hear, Divyanshu. Divyanshu, word limit का क्या scene है NABARD में? How did you manage the word limit? Was it possible to write 600 words in a 15 marker in 20 to 25 minutes? मतलब total 90 minutes में आपने चारों question word limit के अंदर लिखे या कम लिखे?
Sir, actually, sir, for all the questions, sir, I made sure that I do not breach the word limits, but whatever I wrote, that was lesser than the word limit that was there in that answers. Like if answer was for a 600 words, then I was able to write somewhere between 500 to 520 words. And for 400 words, sir, I was able to write somewhere between 350 to 375. But and sir, even it's not required to write 600 words or 400 words. So instead of writing 600 words or 400 words, one should focus more on the content which he is writing, because if your content is not good, then sir, the examiner will not be interested in reading your answers even if you have written 600 words for it. And if your content is good, even after writing 250 to 300 words also, you can score good marks.
So quality precedes over quantity. Always remember that. Word limit के पीछे मत भाग. So Divyanshu, that was about ESI and ARD exam. I think we have catered whatever major aspects we wanted to cater. Descriptive English के लिए कोई tips देना चाहेंगे आप?
So for descriptive English, sir, I didn't do any dedicated preparation, but before the examination, I made sure that I practice at least 2 preces and 2 letters, so that the format for the letters gets clear in my mind. And so for actually, as I was already practicing descriptive answers, so that helped me in my essays also. My typing speed was very well, and I had I had this idea in my mind that I do not have to breach the word limit whatsoever happens. And sir, in each and every, whether it be Presi, letter or English, I was able to stick to the word limits and I didn't cross it. So sir, one thing that I would like to suggest to every aspirant, that do not breach the word limit and try to be as specific as you can with your essays also, so that it sounds good when a person reads it.
I can understand that. I think जो descriptive writing, it's more or less the same whether it is descriptive English or ESI, because essay is exactly similar to your questions in ESI. Presi में थोड़ा आपको Presi और letter में formats पे होने चाहिए, but again I think it depends upon your comprehension and writing skills. तो अगर आपने descriptive की practice की है, you will be able to gain lot out of there, and आप descriptive English हो या ESI ARD का पेपर हो, आप अच्छा कर पाएंगे. So again, I'm repeating, the key is to practice, as Devanshu is saying, and practice after learning the rules or the guidelines of writing an answer on an essay or a Presi, because that is what you need to apply when you're writing something. Now, Devanshu, coming on to the interview part, how much nervous you were before the interview, and what all kind of preparation did you do for the interview?
So the interview part, I think that was the most crucial part for me, and actually, sir, because that was most crucial for me, and I made sure that I do not I made sure that I do not miss out on any stage. Sir, every time, sir, if for prelims, for mains and interviews, sir, I think I would have increased my efforts only because anyway, sir, it gets very disappointing if you are able to clear mains and you get out of interview. So I made sure that I do not leave any stone unturned with my interview preparation. And sir, for preparing for interview, sir, firstly, though, sir, I prepared HR questions related to my profile, the sector in which I was working, and certain genuine questions like why do you want to join the organization, what are your strength, weakness. So sir, what I used to do, sir, like sir, I have prepared an answer about introduce yourself. So I used to circulate it to my friends, those who are preparing for the similar exam, and used to ask them to ask counter questions from me, because that I think is the best way to prepare for the interview. Then if you are if you are asking yourself counter questions from what you have written, then sir, you will be able to get number of questions out of that. So sir, this thing I used to do. Then sir, I for preparing things related to NABARD, sir, I referred to the website of NABARD, whatever departments were there in NABARD. So for each and every department, I prepared notes out of it. Then sir, what are the functions that are functions of NABARD were there. I prepared them very well. Then, sir, I referred to the annual report of NABARD as well, in which, sir, everything will be written in a very comprehensive manner, like what are the financials of NABARD, then what are the recent developments that are being taken by NABARD towards the agriculture and rural sector. So all these things, all these things I have prepared for NABARD, and sir, certain static things related to the agricultural sector, like what is cropping pattern, what is cropping system, then the agriculture that is practiced in my area. So all these things which are being asked in interview, and sir, I used to follow each and every interview which one used to share on social media platforms like Telegram. So sir, any question that I used to think that I wouldn't have been able to answer, I used to prepare notes out of it. So this way I prepared for my interview.
How was your actual interview? Were it on the similar lines, some HR questions, some economy related, rural economy related questions? What was asked in your interview?
Yes, sir. The interview was on the similar lines as I had thought about it. So the chairman of the interview panel, he asked me questions related to HR, like introduce yourself. Then, sir, as I had experience of working with TCS and NABARD, so he told me ki you keep on switching between organizations, what you are up to. So then, sir, I gave him a answer that I keep on looking for good opportunities, and sir, after joining NABARD, I'll try to grow within the organization and experience the diversity of domain which it offers. Then sir, he told me if you get an opportunity better than NABARD, would you leave? So sir, then I said no sir, ki after joining NABARD, I'll be focusing on my job of a grade A officer, and I'm not thinking of any other examination as such. Then he asked me ki whether I have a rural background or not. So sir, I answered him, yes, I have a rural background. But when he asked me ki how frequently do you visit your village, then sir, I told him that I am not able to visit my village frequently because of my professional commitments. I get very less time to come to Lucknow. So then sir, he asked me, your parents don't live in village. So I told them, yes, they are not in village, they're in city only. Then he also told me, okay, that's why you visit less. Then sir, he asked me about strength, what are my strengths and why should I hire you? This question was asked to me. So these questions, so sir, I had already prepared. So I was able to answer them well. So now the interview moved to the women panel who was there. Then sir, she asked me about the financials of NABARD. So sir, I had prepared them. So I told her about the financials of NABARD. Then sir, she asked me where are funds of NABARD utilized. So I told him about NABARD Infrastructure Development Fund. Then sir, Tribal Development Fund. Then sir, she asked me a question, which one do you like? So sir, I told them about these two funds in detail, where NABARD Infrastructure Development Fund and Tribal Development Fund. So but when she was asking me questions, I was telling a lot of things, but she was not asking any counter questions to me. So I thought that she might not be interested in she's not convinced with my answers, or she's not interested in asking to me. But at that time, sir, I didn't had any other option. I tried to keep my calm and thought that okay, let us go with the flow. Whatever happens, we'll see it later. Then sir, the interview moved to the third member. Then he asked me questions related to insurance, like sir, what is the role of NABARD in Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana? So I answered him actually, sir, this question was asked to me in one of the mock interviews. And sir, I would say that this question, I consider this question as a game changer during my interview. If, sir, I think I wouldn't have been able to answer that question, I might not be sitting here in front of you. So, sir, I answered because I knew the answer, so I answered him. He said there are two committees of PMFBY, Grievance Redressal Committee and Technical Advisory Committee. That has members from NABARD. And, sir, apart from that, NABARD doesn't have any direct role to play. Then, sir, he asked me about the implementing agency of PMFBY. I answered that question. Agriculture Insurance Company is there. Then, sir, role of NABARD in Agriculture Insurance Company. And, sir, the last question he asked me about Kisan Credit Card and how the quantum of loan is decided in KCC. So, sir, in that quantum of loan for KCC, I was not able to answer very well. But, sir, when he asked me a counter question, then, sir, I told him truthfully that, sir, I'm not aware about this thing. And then, sir, he told me how it is decided, and sir, I also nodded my head in that. And after that, sir, the panel asked me, do you have any questions for us? So, sir, I said, no, I don't have any questions for you. And after that, sir, my interview ended.
Wow, what about a great description of your interview? I think you remember everything line by line. Nobody remembers like this, but it's good. I think you have a very sharp memory, Divyanshu. So way to go for that. Divyanshu, apart from that, did you read any transcripts before the interview that what is being asked to others or what was asked in previous years?
Yes, sir. So I read those transcripts. Actually, sir, what I used to do, whatever transcripts that were coming for any candidate's interview, I used to see the questions, and sir, I used to ask myself whether I'll be able to answer that question or not. And sir, whatever questions that I think that I might not be able to answer them well, I used to prepare them, because if similar question is asked to me, then I think I'll be able to answer them in the interview stage, in the final interview.
दिव्यांशु, आपने बोला मॉक इंटरव्यू की बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस है, क्योंकि मॉक इंटरव्यू से आपको डायरेक्टली एक क्वेश्चन भी मिला जो आप आंसर कर पाए, जो आपने अभी बताया. तो और आपका मॉक इंटरव्यूज को लेकर क्या व्यू है? हाउ मेनी मॉक इंटरव्यूज वन शुड गिव एंड वन शुड गिव मॉक इंटरव्यूज व्हेन, कब देने चाहिए?
Sir, actually, sir, mock interviews should be given like actual interviews only. It's not that you have not prepared anything and you are giving a mock interview. That won't do any good to you, but to demoralize you. It will only demoralize. So, firstly, once this mains result comes out, give 1 or 2 weeks, prepare for the things that can be asked to you in a mock interview, like prepare those HR questions. If you are working, then prepare about your job. Then, sir, prepared anyways, you'll have to prepare for NABARD also. And sir, after 2 weeks, you should give one mock interview so as to analyze your level of preparation. Whatever preparation that you have done, whether it is up to the mark or not. So first mock interview you give after 2 weeks. But this time, we had a lot of time. So I gave my first mock interview after 10 days of preparation. And sir, so first mock interview when I gave, sir, then I got some reviews from the interviewer. Whatever reviews I got, so sir, in those first 10 days, I didn't read the NABARD annual report. But when I gave your EduTap interview, questions were asked to me from the annual report of NABARD. So, sir, then after that, I prepared that annual report also and kept on revising what are the things that I have already prepared. So then I gave my second mock interview, I gave, I think, 4 or 5 days before my actual interview. So, sir, I gave only two, and sir, one interview I gave in between also. So I gave 3 interviews, but they were from different platforms. One was from your platform and 2 were from other platforms.
So you mean to say that you gave a lot of mock interviews and every mock interview was serious, and you always made sure that before the next mock interview you raise your level so that you're able to perform well, right?
So whatever suggestions were given to me after every mock interview, I implemented them very well, so that I do not miss out during the final interview in front of the interviewers.
Fine, Divyanshu. So that's really nice to get a lot of knowledge from you. I think that's really powerful. That's really a gold mine for the candidates who are appearing for the next year. That is 2002 NABARD grade exam, which is this year, in fact. So Divyanshu, any last message that you would like to give to all the aspirants, because you are a kind of a role model for them right now. They look up to you. They want to become like you. So what is your advice or message to them?
So one thing that I would like to say that it's you should focus on your preparing for your examination, whether you are working or non-working. You should be very much focused about whatever goal you have decided for you, and you should and try to keep away from negative energy, and so that you might not get distracted thinking about all those things. And sir, when a working aspirant is preparing, sir, there a lot of thoughts will come into your mind that you are not able to focus on your job well and what will happen to your career. But sir, you'll have to keep yourself motivated apart from all these things, and keep on trying, and sir, finally you'll be able to succeed. That's what I want to tell to the aspirants.
Oh, that's a lovely message. I would say the motivational message to all the future aspirants: keep away all the negativity away from you, and do not think on the external factors of non-UPSC and non-agri, working and non-working. All it matters is that how much effort you are ready to put, and that will actually depend upon that how badly, how seriously you want to get into NABARD as a NABARD grade A officer. So with that, I would like to thank Divyanshu once again for sharing regarding his strategies and tips with the future aspirants. So thank you, Divyanshu, and wish you best of luck for your future career in NABARD. I hope you make the country proud.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.